It's time for another reality check. And counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is everybody ready? Put on your tinfoil hats, press the like and subscribe buttons, tune in, and let's go! What's going on, guys? Reality check, truth unveiled, coming at you with another one right here. Man, this dude. Okay, so Bricks and Minifigs owners Matt and Amnon McNeff, dad Dan Mcneff, has apparently put out a Facebook post speaking out publicly regarding this situation. But this is a very interesting post, and we're going to go over this right now. So let's get into this. Dan Mcneff says here on this Facebook post, starting out, he says, today's version of a lynch mob could very well be, nicely worded, Mr. McNeff, could very well be YouTube investigators. Sorry, Mr. McNeff, but I have to strongly disagree with you. No, sir. No, sir. YouTube investigators are not lynch mobs. Okay? Here we go with the projections here. YouTube investigators are today's versions of real independent journalists. They're not like the fake news mainstream media who receive their cues and their talking points and their scripts from their corporate offices. No. That's not how YouTube investigators work. No, YouTube investigators actually do real journalism. And they expose corrupt corporations, corrupt people. They expose stuff. They do real investigating, and they report real legitimate news. Okay? So, sorry, Mr. McNeff, but I have to disagree with you here. Next, at one point, 6 years ago, listen to this, how strange this sounds here, guys. At 1.6 years ago, now we're going back 6 years here, okay? I was the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs. So 6 years ago, he was the CEO himself of Bricks and Minifigs. Now he says, my sons illegally removed me from that position and sued me for control of another company I founded. So now he, in his own words here, if this is legitimately him, if this is not a fake account, if this is truly Dan Mcneff, he, in his own words here, is stating and confessing that his sons illegally removed him from the CEO position of Bricks and Minifigs, and even sued him for control of another company that he founded. Okay? So he, by his own admission, is testifying of how corrupt his sons are. Continuing on, he says, I have not had anything to do with bricks and minifigs since then. Now listen to this. Since when? 6 years. So for the past 6, notice this number here. Pay attention to what he says here. Pay attention to the verbiage and the wording here, okay? He says, at 1.6 years ago, I was CEO of Bricks and Minifigs. You see that? Now he says, after his sons illegally removed him from the position, he says, I have not had anything to do with Bricks and Minifigs since then. Since when? Since the last 6 years. Okay? Let me repeat it. Last 6 years. Very important. Now listen to this. Regardless of this, in the last 10 days, I have been given multiple death threats. And 2 days ago, we saw people viewing our home from the hill behind our home with binoculars, and they shot out a big picture window that will cost thousands to replace. Now, I want to point out and note that if people are legitimately doing this, they are wrong and they should be arrested. Okay? That is not the way you do things. It is not the way you handle stuff. You do not go shooting up people's houses and harassing people in their personal homes. By harassing, we're not talking about Reckless Ben trying to send a process server or bringing in someone to act as a process server to serve legal court documents. So that is not harassment. It is also not harassment for someone to come in who has the authority to ask for property that is in a location that belongs to them. That's not harassment either. That's also not trespassing. Even though Reckless Ben was illegally trespassed. Okay? But to go to someone's home who has nothing to do with anything and harass them and shoot up their windows, you need to be, if you've done that, you should be thrown in jail. I'm sorry. We don't do that kind of stuff. That's not how we act as a civilized society. Okay? That is uncalled for. We do not call for that. It does not look good on independent investigative journalism, and it doesn't look good for any other creator, YouTube creator, for people to go out and start acting like vigilantes in this type of manner, in a violent manner. That's uncalled for, and we do not stand with that. And we do not condone such actions. We just don't. Okay? Now, continuing on. No one stops to investigate truly. They make a lot of assumptions and hurt innocent people. I'm sorry, Mr. McNuff, but I have to disagree with you on this one. Reckless Ben did investigate truly. And he has all the evidence of what your sons, along with Joshua Johnson and Brendan Best, have done. All of the schemes, all of the illegal activities, the stealing property, it's all recorded. So yes, this is exactly what Reckless Ben was doing. He was investigating. And he done a fine job. And guess what? There are others who, since Reckless Ben, who have started investigating as well. CoffeeZilla, investigation, fantastic job. Okay? He actually done a true investigation. BJC Live, she done a great job. Fantastic investigation. She's uncovered a lot of stuff. Okay? So, to make a comment or a statement, Mr. McNeff, to say no one stops to investigate, truly, that is a bullshit statement. Excuse my language, guys. But it is an absolute bullshit statement. Okay? Because there has reckless been started this investigation. A true, legitimate investigation exposing your corrupt, call me corporate assets. Okay? And then CoffeeZilla has done a legitimate investigation. And BJC has done a legitimate investigation. Okay? So, you cannot, and there's been others who have done legitimate investigations. So, to say no one stops to investigate, truly, utter bullshit. They make a lot of assumptions. No, they bring to light a lot of proof that was hidden in the dark. And they have not hurt innocent people. No, Mr. McNeff. No, they have not. You lying piece of garbage. Projecting it onto the creators. The creators have not hurt innocent people. People have hurt innocent people, not the creators. And the results of those people going out and hurting innocent people, in which, as I said just a minute ago, we do not condone. But those reactions from the mob, as you're calling them, from a lynch-style mob, those type of reactions are not stemming, are not being condoned or pushed or encouraged by creators or investigative journalists. Those reactions are because people are pissed off because of your corporate call me asses. That's why these people have had enough of you and your sons and people like you, because you're not the only ones. We know that there are so many other corrupt corporations out here that sit here and they steal and they rob and they cheat and they take away from people and they get away with it because of the corrupt ass justice system. The justice system that leans on their side instead of on the side of right. People like your sons and like Joshua Johnson and Brendan Best that use the law to get away with legally stealing from other people. It's wrong. It's morally, demonically wrong. It's evil and it's demonic. Bottom line, man. So go stuff it, Mr. McNeff, with that sorry-ass statement of yours. Pisses me off. And anyone who backs this shit up, go stuff it yourselves too. You can shove it too, man. It's bullshit. Absolute bull. I know you say, well, wait a minute. How can a Christian talk like that? How can someone who is spiritual talk like that? Okay. Just for a little side note, what's the difference between bull dung and bullshit? The Bible says dung. I say shit. So if you're religious and you don't like it, sorry about it. God bless you. I love you. Get over it. Anyway, that said, let's continue on. Every one of those bricks and minifig stores are independently owned and operated, and they don't deserve to be hurt. I agree with you there, Mr. McNutt. But why don't you tell your sons that shit? Why don't you tell your sons that? Why are you out here coming after YouTubers who are investigating and exposing your boys' corruption? Why don't you put out a post and call your boys out instead and say, listen, boys, what you're doing is wrong, and these independent stores, bricks and minifig store owners don't deserve this. You see, what you're showing signs of, Mr. McNeff, is to be a derelict father. Because if you were any kind of morally conscious person or decent man, you wouldn't be coming out here attacking YouTube investigators, calling them a lynch mob. Screw you, man. No, you wouldn't be coming out here calling YouTube investigators a lynch mob, dude. No, brother. If you were a decent moral person, you'd be calling out your boys, saying, listen, boys, you screwed me over 6 years ago, and you illegally removed me from a company that I founded, and now you screwed over some other people, which is causing backlash to all the independent-owned, operated stores, causing hurt and harm to other bricks and minifig stores. So, boys, you need to straighten your act out, because what you're doing is wrong, and it's causing hurt on other people. That's what you ought to be saying, instead of coming after YouTube investigators. Many of the people pushing this whole story have their own Lego stores and want to hurt their competition. Again, is that possible? Yeah, maybe, okay, maybe there are a few out there like that, but I don't think that's the problem. See, again, you're projecting. Now, look what you're doing, Mr. McNeff. Now, your sorry criminal ass is out here accusing other independent store owners of wanting to hurt their competition. Seriously, dude? Are you freaking serious, man? What a crock of garbage, dude. God, I mean, can you show us any more how much of a piece of trash you truly are, man? So, you sit here and say every one of those bricks and minifig stores are independently owned and operated, and they don't deserve to be hurt like this. And then you follow that shit up with many of the people pushing this whole story have their own Lego stores and want to hurt their competition. So now you're accusing independent store owners of trying to hurt other independent store owners. Why? Because those independent store owners that are out here telling their own stories are exposing the same shit that Reckless Ben exposed. Coming from your boys. You derelict dad, you. You derelict father. Why are you not calling out your boys for all of this? What gives you the right to come and attack YouTube investigators? You have no right to, man. When it's your boys that are causing all of this. And now you're going to, not only are you blaming YouTube investigators for hurt, but you're blaming other Lego stores, independently owned and operated, for telling their own stories of how they got screwed. They've been screwed over. So, my question, who watches the watchers? The independent journalists do, buddy. YouTube investigators are watching the watchers. Yes, sir. YouTube investigators are watching the watchers. We are the watchers, son. And it's going to be independent independent YouTube investigators and content creators like this that are going to continue to expose corruption like you and like your son, like your boys, like Joshua Johnson and like Brandon Best and other corporations as well. It is going to be these independent investigator journalists on YouTube and on other platforms that are going to be the ones to save America and to save the world. Because you guys are, unless you're exposed, you're never going to stop the corruption. It's time that you guys be taken down, Mr. McNeff. It's time that all of the corruption be taken down. And I don't mean violently. I mean it's time for the law to get involved. And for you to be exposed through lawfare. It's time for the same lawfare that you guys have used on everyone else to be used back onto you. Enough is enough. And then Mr. McNeff asked this question. Will Reckless Ben investigate all the innocent people he has hurt and do what he can to help them? Mr. McNeff, Reckless Ben hasn't hurt innocent people. The hurt that's been brought on these innocent people was brought on by what you and your sons have done. It was brought on by what you and your shit-ass, criminal-ass sons done. Not by Reckless Ben. You don't blame the journalist for what the criminal does. The journalist is just reporting it. The journalist is reporting the news. The journalist is exposing the criminal activity. Ben isn't the one who brought this on innocent people. Your boys did, and Joshua Johnson did, and Brandon Best did. So, for you to come out and ask such an asinine question, will Reckless Ben investigate all the innocent people he has hurt? Screw you, man. Reckless Ben hasn't hurt innocent people. You and your boys have. And you say, well, you haven't had any part of it in the last 6 years. Well, then you need to shut your freaking mouth. And if you're going to open it, you need to go back and talk to your boys. And don't come after YouTube investigators. Okay? We're coming after you now because you opened your freaking mouth, buddy. If you wasn't going to come out and call out your boys for their criminal acts and speak the truth, if you were just going to project everything off on YouTube creators and on other independent store owners and on Reckless Ben falsely accusing him of hurting innocent people, then you should shut the hell up. You need to just shut your mouth. You have no business in this. You said yourself you haven't been part of the Bricks and Minifigs since your sons threw your ass out 6 years ago. So shut the hell up, man. That's all I've got to say. Just shut the hell up, dude. And anybody who's siding with this piece of shit, screw you. Straight up, screw you, man. That's all I've got to say. I just had to share this with you guys. I apologize for the rant, but man, it pisses me off. The projection that these low-life pieces of trash try to pull out here, it just royally pisses me off. I don't agree with the violence. And if what he's saying is true and people have been going to his house and shooting it and throwing death threats in his direction, you're wrong for that. That shouldn't happen, and we do not condone it. I can assure you, Reckless Ben does not condone it. CoffeeZilla does not condone it. And none of the rest of us out here condone that. I can assure you, none of us condone that. But I be doggone if I'm gonna sit back and keep my mouth shut while you spew absolute garbage out of your mouth. False allegations, false claims, lies, deceptions. Man, go screw yourself, Dan Mcneff. Reality check out.